The Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 stimulus package has been announced this past week, and joining me online is Mr. Call of Duty himself, Mr. Robert Bowling. Robert, how are you?
I'm great, Larry. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. You had a big week, lots of great news. Why don't you go over it pretty quickly, because you also have a new piece of information to share with the audience.
Yeah, I mean, this is a big week. I mean, we just announced our first downloadable content for Modern Warfare 2, and I know a lot of our community has been itching to get some new maps to attack each other on and to play on. So, I mean, we announced the stimulus package this week. I mean, it's coming out March 30th, first on Xbox Live, and that's going to be cool. We have 5 maps that it's going to include, totaling up to 1,200 Microsoft points, which is, I think it equals up to $14.99.
Right.
Yeah, so we have that coming down the pipeline, and a lot of good maps in there that I know our community have been wanting, and then some they're never expecting.
So let's talk about that. So the stimulus package is going to be, as you said, it's going to be coming out on March 30th, exclusive on Xbox Live for first, and then it's going to go to wherever else it's going to go after that.
Yeah.
But it's going to be 1,200 Microsoft points. There's 5 maps in the stimulus package. Let's go through them. I've got Bailout, Storm, Salvage, Crash, and Overgrown. So why don't you kind of walk us through each one of them, if you don't mind?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Bailout's one of my favorites. It takes place in this overrun apartment complex. There's really long sight lines, and it's a wide map, so it has a lot of great flanking routes. And I mean, this apartment complex it's a modern day apartment complex, so it's very familiar to a lot of people. And it's one of those places where when you visit them in real life, it's always one of those feelings like, man, I wonder what it's like to have a firefight here. And now they're going to be able to. I mean, you're cutting through blown out apartment buildings. You're looking over these parking lots and these courtyards that connect it all. It's just a really cool map with really intense team games. Second, you have Salvage. Salvage is really cool because it's a snowy map, so it's like this old abandoned junkyard, basically. So you have all these piled up trash vehicles that you can use for cover, some warehouses, a lot of debris, and it's like the snowy terrain. It's really fast-paced action. It's one of the smaller maps in the map pack, so it's really great for free-for-all or smaller team games like that. Storm is one that takes, has some weather effects. It's in the middle of a rainy downpour, an intense thunderstorm that's rolling in. It has all these abandoned warehouses that have been turned into makeshift outposts for these military units. So you're fighting through this area. It's really good for a little bit larger team battles, some objective game types. Maybe you're playing Domination on there, Hardcore HQ. And then, of course, everybody knows these maps. If you've been playing Modern Warfare 1, these are some of the most popular maps from that game that we're bringing into Modern Warfare 2 and have revamped a little bit. So we have Crash. Everybody loves Crash. I mean, it's my personal all-time favorite map. It has the down helicopter. It's an urban map, so it's smaller. It's super fast-paced, but it's also great for team games. I mean, I think Crash is one of our greatest maps in the franchise, really, because it's one of those maps that just works well with any game type that you're playing on it. And the second is one, that everybody should be familiar with, Overgrown. We had it in the beta for Call of Duty 4. It was one of the most popular Call of Duty 4 maps. It's back. It's wide open if you're not familiar with it. It's great for snipers. Has a lot of, perfect for ghillie suits, which is why it's so good with snipers. But it also has, some great buildings that you can get up in and shoot from and fight through, and then especially when you're playing objective game types. It's good. I mean, what I love about bringing these 2 maps back, especially Crash, is I've been waiting over 2 years to play Capture the Flag on Crash, and the first time I got to do it was just awesome.
Yeah, it's so you talked about the 5 different maps. There's some 3 brand new ones, and 2 are kind of do you say reworked from one, or how would you characterize them?
Well, they're slightly reworked, but I mean, we didn't make any major geo changes. I mean, these are maps that we loved, and we didn't want to go messing with that formula. I mean, we brought them back because they're maps we love. So we didn't redo them at all. We just, upped the graphics a bit and added in that new stuff, all the new stuff we added to Modern Warfare 2 as a whole.
Yeah. Now, when you're going through, I mean, you and I have talked about this at length because you have one. You know, the Modern Warfare community is one of the most extraordinary communities. It's one of the weekend since launch. It's been probably the most popular title on Xbox Live. I post the top 10 list every week, and there it is. But you've got one of the most extraordinary communities. So how do you take the feedback, and where can we see some of the community's feedback in the maps?
Well, I mean, it's all through. I mean, it's on, the forums or Twitter or Facebook, and just